Good morning, Interbet fans, and welcome to the preview for Turffontein. We're on the Standside track, Sunday, the 29th of January, 8-race program. And the pentometer is 22 with a 7-meter false rail at the 700-meter mark. But first, before we get into this, a couple of really fantastic efforts yesterday at the races at Kenilworth on Met Day. And I must say, Mike de Kock and Christoph Simeon's handling of Desert Miracle was absolutely out of top draw. I thought they'd get it right with this filly, and she was a very deserved winner of the Mallorca. Christoph Simeon, well, he showed what class he's got. He's a wonderful rider and a wonderful human being. Really wonderful to see him winning 3 races on the day and a second in another one. He's just a phenomenon. As long as he doesn't push people off horses, he's great. So, Christoph, well done to you, well done to Mike, and then well done to Justin Snaith on winning the Met and the whole Snaith team. I must say, he's done a marvellous job with this horse, Jet Dark. When you look at the horse's career, his form, his performances, and he was a very deserved winner of the Met. You got to spare a thought for the second horse, but they were the best 2 horses in the race, and some big reputations were smashed yesterday, including probably the 3-year-olds. And maybe it's not that easy to win a Met with a 3-year-old. I know Mike's won it a couple of times. Oh, Susanna won it. That's a Snaith team. But the Snaiths really incredible training feat with Jet Dark. And I think Jet Dark, any of you out there want to get involved in stallions, this is a horse I would get involved in. I think that of all the horses going to stud, he looks to me to be the real deal. He's proved it on the racetrack. He's got a pedigree, and wonderful to see Nick Johnson winning with the Met with a horse out of a Jetmaster mare who was owned by his uncle, bred by his uncle Hugh Johnson. So all these things just made for a really good race day. I thought a pathetic crowd. I know everyone telling me, oh, what a wonderful crowd, we got this and the other. But on the visuals, a really poor crowd. And this is a state of racing. You can put on all this fancy outside skirting and colours and flashing and this and that and the other. But to get people to the races is our biggest problem. Let's go with race 1 at Turffontein, 12:20 and 1600 meter maiden plate. I'm going with number 3, Desert Fox. I think this is the find of the race. Big price, and definitely will improve over the 1600 meters. He's always put into all your play. 9, Follow the Flow. That is my second choice, and I'll tell you why. Go back over the run before last. That was a very good run. You've got to ignore his last run completely. It took a walk in the betting like they knew there was something wrong, and they ran no type of race. I think this will be a much better race for Follow the Flow, and Matsuyama gets a chance on it. Stepping Out is your favourite, and it's got good form and head of the speed rating, well ahead of the speed rating, should go well. American Biscuit, got to improve on his first run. Race 2 classified, 1600 meters, and I'm going with the Mike de Kock runner, Destiny of Souls. I think you'll go very well here. Calvin Abebe aboard it, I think has got a huge chance. But not that cut and dry. Duke of Rain looks like the big danger, number 3. Raymond Danielson gets a chance. I'm surprised that Marco's not riding it, but I see he's riding for Corne Spies. Maybe he's retained to ride that, but I thought Marco rode this horse well the time before last. Last time, ignore. Prairie Falcon, consistent, come down from an 86 to a 73, and Randall Simons is aboard that, always a big plus. And then Burmese Tiara, Skyfall, and Lady Cavalera, the 3 mares, Skyfall's a 3-year-old filly, all got some sort of chance. Race 3, this is a middle stakes, 2,000 meters, and I made it a 2-corner contest. Captain Chorus and Tabuya, I think they'll fight it out. And not much to say about them. Maybe Supreme Dance will improve because he's come back from a gelding and had a warm-up run where Gavin Larena sticks with him. Race 4, divided fillies and mares, 1800 meters. I thought it was 2-corner contest. I'm going with number 4, Little Mary Sunshine. got a huge chance, very good last, but got 2 points penalty, and that might be her undoing. She went from an 89 to a 91. I hate that when a horse runs second and gets a 2 point penalty. Silver Hills, you don't know how good she is, so she's got to be the big danger. And then Quiet Rebellion, the 4-year-old's getting weight, but she always flatters to deceive, this Quiet Rebellion, so very worried about her. Race 5, divided fillies and mares, and I thought maybe Little Miss Sunshine might be the answer here. She's the top of the betting boards, but she does seem to have the right form, and she seems pretty well in. She's got some nice form her last few runs, but doesn't seem to get ahead past the post. She might need a set of blinkers, Little Miss Sunshine. October Fair's an improver. Cherangoma, second run after rest, that's number 2, definitely an improver. And then I thought that Ready to Fly might improve with the blinkers off. Patchy Fighter, I think it's short for him. I think he needs more ground. And Eastern World might improve with blinkers. Race 6, Allez France, 2,400 meters. The worst handicapped horse in the race has got to be number 1, Terra Time, although she's got ability, this filly. She's got to give chunks all round, and she might find it difficult. Belvedere, really got good form. Distance much suited by the distance, 2,400 meters. But they've all got to be flying first class. She's a right horse. Course and distance she loves. She gets a trip. Calvin's run 4 races on her. And she gets chunks from these other horses at the top of the weight. She looks beautifully placed in a race like this. Stable a bit iffy, but they seem to be bouncing back a bit, so the Nivenese team might be able to win this. Race 7, the Wolf Power, 1,600 meters. I'm going for Out of the Darkness, Johan Janssen van Vuren run. I think he's got everything in his favor. Second base was left in here, so he gets 58 kilos on his back and has been scratched. Right, he's got to give 4 kilos to Platinum Sky. That might be a difficult task because he's a front runner. Van der Bult's a front runner. But then Paisley Park looks absolutely beautifully placed in a race like this. The other Terry runner. And this is Sean Terry's forte. He gets them into the right races with the right weights. And Paisley Park is absolutely perfect for this race, so he's got to go into all your play. Pyromaniac, well, he's been flattered to deceive. He's been a really, really disappointing horse. I thought he was much better than what he's shown. Maybe he's got issues, and maybe he'll improve. Race 8, 1160, mirror-rated handicap. Now, King of Venus is one of those horses. Last time, he was a reserve runner, and he only went in the race late because I did the preview. I saw him in there, and he wasn't declared. There was no scratchings in the race. He won, which was extremely aggravating because I didn't go and have a look again to see if he'd got in. And I'd done my exotics, and you probably had 2. So it's always worth checking before you do your exotics finals. And sometimes these guys leave these horses in late in order that the public doesn't really know what's going on. South Boy, second run, not a bad first run. I thought he'd improve. He looks well placed in the merit rating. Iron Tail, good last run. In the Ether's got very good form. And Ramachandri Road, don't ignore this horse's chances. Got to have a very big chances. A perfect course and distance for him. And he's got the form. Letitia's Angel is another that comes into the play. So quite difficult the last race. So from me, James Goodman, I hope you have a wonderful day's racing at Turffontein. And should be fun there.